You know that feeling when you're just completely swamped by an emotion? Like it's not just something you're feeling, it's who you are in that moment? Well, today we're going to dive into that crucial space between feeling something and being something. And trust me, it's a journey that's going to lead us to a really powerful way to find meaning, even when life feels like it has none.
All right, so to get us started, let's chew on a question that seems super simple. We say, I feel sad and I am sad all the time, right? Like they're the same thing. But what if they're not? What if that tiny little difference in wording points to a massive truth about how we experience our own lives?
You know, psychologists actually draw a really clear line here. Feelings, those are the things we consciously notice. That hunger pang in your stomach, the warmth you feel for a friend, you know it's happening. But emotions, they can be sneakier. They're like this subconscious current running deep beneath the surface. So you might not walk around thinking, I am an anxious person. But that emotion could be the very thing making you procrastinate on a project or snap at someone you love, and you might not even know why.
And this, of course, brings us to that classic, age-old conflict we all know so well, the dance. Or, let's be honest, sometimes it's an all-out battle between our rational mind and our passions, the head versus the heart.
And man, do we have some strong metaphors for this internal tug-of-war. On one hand, you've got our emotions, often painted as these unruly toddlers, just demanding, impulsive, and needing a firm, rational adult to keep them in check. And then on the other hand, you have our logical mind, this cold, calculating machine that kind of needs the warmth and fire of passion to even know what's worth calculating.
This quote just nails a very common experience, doesn't it? We love to think our reason is in the driver's seat, carefully steering us through life. But let's be real. How many times have you just acted without thinking? In those split seconds, when your logical guard is down, bam, it's pure emotion that grabs the steering wheel and makes the call.
But hold on, that's not the whole story. A more sophisticated view is that reason and emotion aren't enemies at all. Instead, reason elaborates on emotion. It's the partner that helps us hit pause on our gut reactions, to actually understand them and maybe find a deeper truth in a painful moment. They're a team, not rivals. And figuring out how that team works together, that's the secret to consciously shaping our inner world.
Okay, so if reason and emotion are partners, let's meet the players they're working with. We're going to take a quick tour of the emotional spectrum, and we'll see how even the so-called nasty emotions have a job to do, and how the positive ones help us thrive.
So these emotions we usually label as negative, turns out they're actually pretty useful. Take anger, for example. A lot of the time, it's what we call a substitute emotion. It's like this protective shield we throw up to avoid feeling the real pain or vulnerability underneath. And envy? Yeah, one of the 7 deadly sins, but it can be a huge motivator. It can be malicious, where you want someone else to fail, or it can be benign, where it just lights a fire under you to go out and achieve more for yourself.
Now, on the flip side, the science behind positive emotions is just so cool. There's this idea called the broaden and build theory. It suggests that feelings like joy, interest, and pride do way more than just feel good. They actually broaden our minds, making us more creative, more open to new things, and over time, stacking up those experiences actually builds our psychological toolkit for the future.
But look, a good life is about more than just managing the bad feelings and collecting the good ones. As human beings, we're wired for something deeper. We have this profound, deep-seated drive to move beyond just fleeting feelings and find a lasting sense of purpose. This is the quest for meaning.
So what exactly is personal meaning? Well, the textbook definition is having an awareness of order, coherence, and purpose in your existence. But let's put that in simple terms. It's that deep-down feeling that your life makes sense, that you're working towards something worthwhile, and that what you do actually matters. And wow, the impact of feeling this is just profound. The research is crystal clear. The more personal meaning you feel, the higher your psychological well-being, and at the same time, it's one of the best defenses we have against stress. So bottom line, finding meaning makes us way more resilient to all the tough stuff life throws at us.
Which, of course, leads to the million-dollar question, how do we actually find this meaning? Well, one of the most powerful answers comes from a really unlikely place, one of history's absolute darkest chapters. It's a framework called logotherapy, which comes from the Greek word logos, and it literally means meaning. The founder was a man named Viktor Frankl. He was an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. And this unimaginable experience, instead of breaking him, actually became the bedrock of his theory that the #1 driving force in all of us is our search for meaning.
So, logotherapy is built on 3 really simple but profound principles. 1. Life has meaning under all circumstances, even the most miserable ones. 2. Our main motivation for living, the thing that gets us out of bed, is our will to find that meaning. And 3, we always have the freedom to find meaning in what we do, what we experience, or even in the attitude we choose to take when we face suffering we can't change.
And this isn't just some abstract philosophy. Frankl gave us a practical roadmap. He said we can discover this meaning in 3 main ways. First, by creating something or doing a deed. Second, by experiencing something or encountering someone, through love. And third, by the attitude we take toward unavoidable suffering.
To explain that third path, Frankl told this incredible story. An elderly doctor came to him, and he was just inconsolable because his wife, whom he'd loved dearly, had passed away. Frankl listened, and then he asked him a simple question. "Doctor, what would have happened if you had died first?" And the doctor immediately said, "Oh, for her this would have been terrible, how she would have suffered." And Frankl gently replied, "You see, doctor, you have spared her that suffering, but now you have to pay the price by surviving and mourning her." And in that one moment, everything shifted for the doctor. His suffering wasn't meaningless anymore. It was a sacrifice. It was a testament to his love, the price he was willing to pay to spare her that very same pain.
And this all brings us to Frankl's ultimate conclusion, something he learned in the fires of the Holocaust. He realized that they can take everything from a person, your home, your family, your dignity, everything. But there is one thing, one single thing that can never be taken away, the last of the human freedoms, which is to choose your attitude in any given set of circumstances. In that choice lies all our power.
And that brings our whole journey full circle, right back to you. We all face our own challenges, our own joys, and our own unavoidable suffering. So the question that Viktor Frankl leaves for every single one of us is this. In the face of your own challenges in your life right now, where will you choose to find your meaning?